I don't really think that the Duffer Brothers nailed the finale. To be honest, they just barely stuck the landing. It was okay, it was alright, but it was mid in my opinion. Passable but disappointing. Leading up to that final episode, there were a couple theories floating around about how Vecna was controlling Will and the others, and that reinvigorated my hype for the finale. But I was let down when they turned out to not be true. Unfortunately, they were just more entertaining than what we got in the final episode. My hopes weren't high after part 2 because it was underwhelming and disjointed. Then you had the coming out scene with Will, which in my opinion was kind of cringy and I don't think was really necessary. It seemed like everything was resolved at the end of part 1 when Will obtained his powers. He learned to accept himself, and at that point you don't really need anybody else's approval. The only person he really should have spoken with is his mother. Just keep it short and sweet. I mean, there were people in that room that I'm pretty sure Will didn't even know. Like, why are you having such an intimate moment with complete strangers around? Just a waste of time. So, let's get into the plot armor and how thick it was, because it was super duper strong in this season. There were a lot of characters that should have died, and I'm not saying you gotta kill a bunch of the main cast just for the heck of it. Death has to have meaning. It has to hold weight and affect the plot in some way. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense for most of these characters to still be alive. Here is a list of characters I think should have died. We got Hopper. He should have died back in season 3. The letter he left Eleven would have meant so much more if he stayed dead. You take away from a moment like that when you give us a fake out death. You got Max. Doesn't make sense that she's still alive because Vecna got his power boost, and from what we were shown, his abilities were magnified. Max went through the whole trance, her eyes were whited out and her limbs were broken. She should have died. Especially since she pretty much does nothing in the finale, no impact whatsoever. You got Mike and Nancy's parents. I mean, their dad is practically non-existent anyway. But when the mom came back and killed those 3 demo dogs, I kept thinking, where is the dad? I understand the running gag that he is barely there for his family, but to involve him in the moment where the Demogorgon kidnapped Holly and then just put him to the side until Mike's graduation just felt wrong. I mean, he didn't even speak to Mike at all. That was weird. You got Jonathan and Nancy. These two definitely should not be alive. Before Nancy shot that orb in the research facility, we saw the gruesome effects of that orb being tampered with. 2 soldiers were melted to death. That could have been used for some eerie foreshadowing, but it wasn't followed up on. Also, the breakup scene they had was weird. I didn't even know it was a breakup at first. I just thought they were airing out their grievances. Got 11. I definitely think she should have died. And I mean, when I really think about it, the Duffer Brothers have been doing fake out deaths since the beginning. I believe the same thing happened with Elle at the end of season 1 when she killed the first Demogorgon. That fake it out the end of the series. The fake it out the end of the series and the series finale was fine for the happy ending, but I don't think it should have happened. And now you got Will. Since Will is able to access the hive mind, it's been shown in various scenes that when Vecna or the Demogorgons feel pain, so does Will. So in the final battle, another thing I want to talk about, the final battle sucked. When everyone was attacking the Mind Flayer and Eleven was battling Vecna, I definitely do think that Will should have died as well. It's been shown to us when one feels pain, they all feel pain. For the most part, when one dies, they all die, right? So Will definitely should not have made it. So let's talk about Carly, because I think I'm one of the few people that actually liked that season 2 episode. I didn't think it was bad at all. I like that episode because in my opinion it just added a whole new dynamic. It added a whole another layer to that experiment, that project, and the other children that were there. I mean, season 4 kind of did that but better, but still just introduce Carly in season 2 and then have her completely erased from the mythos of the show just because of some negative fan reactions just wasn't really right to me. To win 11 and Hopper went to the Upside Down and they infiltrated the military base, I called that 8 was going to be the one that they found instead of Vecna. It didn't really make sense for them to find Vecna there unless Vecna was controlling the military. During that episode, I had 2 theories. Either they were going to find Vecna, but they weren't going to be able to get to him because Vecna is controlling all of the military soldiers in the base, or they were going to find Kali. It just made sense. So I felt vindicated when they brought her back, but they brought her back just to kill her. She didn't really play a significant role. I mean, she kind of did because she gave 11 that fake out death, but other than that, she didn't really contribute too much. Like I said, they just brought her back just to kill her. But yeah, 11 should have died. I feel that by not killing her, that leaves doors open to another adaptation. And honestly, I just kind of want things to be done. I want the chapter to be closed. You know, I've been here since the beginning, since season one. People say that everything has gone downhill since then, but honestly, I don't really feel that way. For the most part, I enjoyed all seasons except this one. This one was mid. I'll be real. And let's get into the final battle. The final battle was really really bad. When it comes to psychics, when it comes to psychic on psychic action, it's not really good unless it's animated. When it's animated, you can add psionic blast, you can add changing environments. You can just you just have more. You have so much more when it comes to animation. Honestly, I think the battle between Vecna and Eleven should have been done in that mindscape that Eleven travels to. They could have toyed around with things a little bit more, but ultimately the final battle wasn't really the best. I didn't really like it. It was again underwhelming, but that's what happens when you do things live action. When you have psychic battles like that and they're in live action, it doesn't really turn out how it should. It it's not really the best. It doesn't turn out the best. It's basically Star Wars, but without the lightsabers and the lightning. You just have people throwing each other around, throwing objects at each other. It's kind of lame. Ultimately, the series was just underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. Well, the season was underwhelming. Okay, it's passable. The landing was very, very wobbly, but they made it just passable. Yeah.